Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Well, watch out if you're trying to break the world record for a Matchstick Eiffel Tower. A French enthusiast, Richard, had his hopes dashed. He was told by the Guinness World Records that his 23-foot tower did not qualify because he had used the wrong kind of matches. He told reporters, "It's part of my dream that's vanished." His model took 8 years, 706,900 matches, and 23 kilograms of glue to build. I'm an American. We don't understand metrics. I don't know how much glue that is. Sounds like a lot. The final piece was glued into place on December 27th, 100 years to the day since the death of Gustave Eiffel. After that, he put the 1/45th scale model on display and contacted Guinness. And they said, hey, man, the rules stipulate only commercially available matches qualify for a record breaker. Richard said, they reckon that my matches weren't available for sale, so they didn't qualify. It's pretty astonishing and actually rather annoying. What hurts most is they don't acknowledge the work that I put in, the time I spent, the mental energy, because I could tell you it wasn't easy. So when he was putting this together, he realized the hardest part was going to be shaving off the sulfur from the matches, so he contacted the match manufacturer, and they gave him sulfurless matches. In other words, sticks without the red part at the end. Technically, not matches. But wait, this is 5 good news stories. Richard heard from Guinness again. He said he was on an emotional roller coaster after having spent 4,200 hours building his model. There are 168 hours in a week if you don't sleep or do anything else, so divide 4,200 by 168. A lot of time there. Guinness has changed their mind. Mark McKinley, a director at Guinness World Records, said, "We're really excited to be able to approve it. We're happy to be able to admit we were a little bit harsh on the type of matches needed in his attempt, and Richard's attempt truly is officially amazing." Congratulations, Richard. A grief-stricken donkey had a stomach blockage. Joey the donkey had stopped eating when his mom Josie passed away in November. Joey was so stressed he got a gastric impaction, meaning food no longer was able to pass through his small intestine. Jamie the vet said, "Our vets rushed into action, giving Joey an abdominal ultrasound and conducting a process called gastroscopy, putting a camera up his nose and into his stomach. As well as pain relief, we flushed Joey's stomach with cola several times a day to dissolve the solid. We used 6 liters of full sugar cola a day, spread out over 3 treatments for 4 days to soften and dissolve the impactions in his stomach." Farm supervisor groom Kaylee Yellen said Joey'd been with his mom his whole life. It was a massive change for him. He'd become quite nervous, didn't want to be around anybody. Every time we went to see him, we wanted it to be a positive experience. I didn't want Joey to associate visits from us with the veterinary treatments he was receiving. I used positive reassurance to help him along. I'd go in and scratch his neck and reassure him and then walk away. Joey seems to be doing okay, and they've paired him up with another bereaved donkey, Ben. Ben recently lost his friend, Bob the donkey. Kaylee said, by buddying the two together, we hope their shared experience of loss will allow them to comfort each other. Their friendship is still flourishing. It's early, but their future as friends looks promising. For example, Joey will eat out of Ben's bucket because he wants to be next to Ben. Then Ben will follow Joey around. The vets remind us never give cola to a healthy donkey. Archaeologists in Egypt have discovered a series of rock tombs that are somewhere between 1,800 and 4,800 years old. That's a pretty good range there, scientists. That contained colorful mummy masks, plates, statues, and artwork. They even found a statue of Harpocrates, who, as you know, is the child god of silence. Dr. Mohammed Youssef is the Director General of Saqqara Archaeology and says the burials that have been revealed consist of the remains of a human burial of a man with a colored mask, another burial of a young child, as well as a number of latent heroic burials with a coffin from the 18th family era inside an alabaster plot in good condition. They also found parts of 2 mascots of Isis, pottery saddle, and pottery pieces with inscriptions. Nice job by firefighters in Minnesota. They helped rescue a dog that fell into Lake Superior. The dog was nearly overcome by 8-foot waves on a lake. That's a lot. Firefighters fought their way through the waves to find the dog, but struggled to see the dog because of the large waves and limited light. The dog, dark in color, kept slipping below the surface. Meanwhile, firefighters on the pier with the dog's owner used portable lights and shouted directions to the crew to help them find the dog. This all ends well, of course. The firefighters were able to get hold of the dog by his collar. At one point, the crew and dog were swept in towards the bay and passed under a bridge, but crew members in the boat reached them and were able to get the dog and the firefighters into the boat. Once taken to land, the dog jumped in the owner's car. You gotta love dogs, man. And good news, if you have typhoid fever, Tomato juice can be effective against typhoid fever, say researchers from Cornell. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, an estimated 11 to 21 million people get typhoid every year. The Cornell team hopes that because tomatoes are widely available and affordable, their research gets people to eat more tomatoes. And that's your good news stories for today. Hope you enjoy the program. If you do, well, you probably do if you're still here, so thank you. Tell a friend about it. They might enjoy it too, and you have an awesome day.